Yo, what's happening? Your boy Jay Hustler back again. I'm give it to you with some political news on the political side here. I got MSNBC holding a interview with some of these puppets that they just want to, pander you to. I want to play this video with this lady Simone Sanders, I think. Make sure her name is correct. So I make sure I don't want to get any okay. So they're going on about Trump is controlling the streets in Washington D.C. I think it's a good move that Trump is doing. He's calling in the National Guard to help clean up the crime. Um, and I don't see really why people have any issues or problem with that because uh, you're short staffed on so many police officers in Washington D.C. Crime has risen to an all-time high, and you have someone who has with morals and values within himself to feel like the country needs to be where it needs to be, especially where it was back then. But now you have so many degenerates and these YNs that's running through the streets and try to capitalize off or just you know just trying to really make your property value go down, your the value of the city really can't even get any government assist and for those who really need it, but you put your city in detriment. So you try to do what you can to kind of alleviate some of the pressure and guidance from the some of these mayors, especially that's going on in these blue cities. These blue cities is in such shambles, man, because this is where the crime rate is running rampant. Chicago, Washington, you got New York, uh, Cali, California is just everything is all over the place. And this is not about identity politics. It's not about black, white. It's just these people that's in power, that's liberal, and claim to be Democrat. That's just having your city in shambles. You can't even go walk to the mailbox. Can't go to the park with the kids. And you got someone who's cares just want to come in these cities and straighten everything up. But y'all got a problem with that. So that just goes to show what kind of mindset y'all really in, man. How you gonna, you know, ridicule a person that's trying to make your neighborhood safe? I don't get it. So we're gonna play this clip from MSNBC with this lady. Um, I think her name is Simone Sanders. She's like the Timu of Joy Reid. So as you can see, they love the little haircuts. So shout out to the ladies that can rock it. But let's get to the video and see what they got to say.
Which wrote for MSNBC, carries this headline: Trump's brazen DC power grab feels personal, because it is. Tell us more.
Well, look, I think that Donald Trump is deploying a very familiar playbook that has been used in the past, and he's just updating it, for cable news and social media. He's painting a distorted picture of urban chaos, questioning the competency of local Black leadership, and then he's pushing for federal intervention that strips away local control. I believe that Donald Trump is using the issue of juvenile crime in the District of Columbia. And I will just note, for the last 10 years that Mayor Bowser has been mayor, crime is constantly cited as the #1 issue when residents are polled. And so I have definitely not suggested that no one cares about crime. It's personal for me. I'm literally talking to you from my home in Washington, D.C. But the issue is that Trump is using this as a pretext, specifically the incident of juvenile crime, as a pretext for his authoritarian overreach. And because of the law in Washington, D.C., the fact that there is federal control over the District of Columbia in some regard, it makes it easier for him to do. But to be very clear, I think that the president has been very consistent. And when he says that next is Chicago, New York, LA, Oakland, again, all cities with Black mayors in states that have Democratic governors, I would note.
They're not all Black. And these people need to be fact checked, man, because they're not Black not all in certain. Now you got Brandon Johnson in Chicago, Eric Adams in New York, DC. I forgot that mayor name. I can't go to me. Got Karen Bass out there in LA. She's not black. She's the most liberal person out of all of these people. Next is number 2 is Brandon Johnson out of Chicago. Let's just call it thing because these people running these cities into the ground. I mean, deficit out the wazoo. And they got the nerve to stand up in here and say, well, we're for our community, lower property taxes, but you're running everybody that's of color out of the city. Your school funding is going down to a deficit. Y'all owe so much money to the school. You don't even know if the kids is going to school for this school terms. That's how much in deficit and debt y'all are in. All because y'all wouldn't stand for the migrant rights, the immigrants. I don't get y'all call yourself the sanctuary city, but y'all hovering and hosting all these people over here, and they getting all these assistance, but you want to do a damn thing in your backyard. But you want to spew this nonsense over the media, and the media just what. And I'm going over MSNBC because you know how they think. They all liberal and they all democratic ways, so they all gonna spend the. But I'm just going to show you that these people don't do no fact checking. They're spreading misinformation, and they quick to turn around and look at you and say, "Well, you're giving misinformation." I don't see how when it's in black and white, and then they'll have these other leaders that come up here right upon you and in your face and twist statistics, and they'll throw a narrative out there, and so many black people just keep falling head over heels for these policies and the same rhetoric, but all the identity politics because you don't let the next person. It baffles me, man. It baffles me.
I think people should take him seriously. And if he succeeds, he will have essentially overturned local elections and taken powers that have been given the leaders that frankly oppose him. And he's going to not stop in the blue cities, if you will, or with the black mayors. It's a pretext for what he has long time said he wanted, which is the ability to send the military into the streets of America for what he deems to be an emergency or unrest.
So, Reverend Sharpton,
you got the turtleneck sharpening up there, like you always do. One of the best ambulance chaser in the world. He's the #1 ambulance chaser. If there's anybody that's looking for clout, you can best believe Al Sharpton is in the front of the line. I'm gonna tell you that off top. Al Sharpton is always gonna be there to the forefront. He gonna make sure he keep doing this. That's what he gonna make sure he gonna do. Keep clocking them dollars, baby, because Al Sharpton didn't give a damn. I'm just gonna say it, you know what I'm saying? A lot of content creators is really pointing out the hypocrisy of these people, and we think that they're really doing us a favor. They're really not. They're really not. These people are paid pundits. They pay Democratic and liberal people that come out here in front of you and to pull you in to keep staying on the plantation when they know damn years. We've been trying this for so long now with these same faces, and nobody can catch don't see the play. This is the big 42 right in front of you, but y'all just chose to keep turning the blind eye. But let's go and see what he got to say. Oh, weasel! Look at this weasel.
We've heard obviously Simone's concerns, and many others are concerned. I would certainly be concerned if this were replicated in other cities. Washington, D.C., obviously a unique situation. But let's talk about solutions. Where is there compromise between?
He don't even know how to come at this dude because he already know Sharpton about to come out here with some bullshit. He about to talk the most dumb shit in the world. He about to say some shit about kumbaya. Let's get together And people are tired of talking, man. People were tired of, we do things their way for a very long time, at least over 30 years. These people don't have no solutions. They don't. They're just coming up there and throw the race card in front of us and have us to think that this is what it's really about, but it's not. These people have their own agenda. It's never about race. It's about rich and poor at the end of the day. These people don't give a damn about you and your communities, because if they had, they would have had straightened the streets up already instead of let Trump do it. But once again, they just keep proving them right. And shout out to Trump, because he keep proving them right time and time and time again. This man always got to come in somebody's city, even though he give a public message out there on TV, on broad screen, Fox News and CNN. They'll spin it though. They'll spin it the way they want to be seen. But he'll come out and tell you, hey, and that's one that I can say about Trump. And he's straightforward. He's gonna tell you what it is. He's gonna tell you what's on his mind a lot, which is, I think, is, pretty authentic. That's why we could relate to him. I think he's doing the country a justice, man. And you got these pundits up here that just keep, throwing the wool over your eyes. For those of you that's falling for that, and damn sure ain't me. But anyway, let's get to the video.
What concerns Simone and so many other people in D.C. and across the country, and what we're hearing from residents of Washington, D.C., especially Black residents there, according to the poll. And
he's dragging the question out.
And working class.
Let's get it.
Is the solution here? Because obviously, when 9 out of 10 people say crime is a problem in Washington, D.C., you would hope that Democrats and Republicans could get together.
He's long-winded, man.
That Democrats and Republicans could get together and move beyond the partisan lines and figure out how to make Washington even safer. And that is not to say that Mayor Bowser's not doing all she can do with a city council who, I will just say, has been very problematic.
I think that the solution needs to be worked out sitting down and saying, these are the issues. How do we stop the crime?
See, that's the problem right there.
Because as Simone
that's
said,
the problem. He want to keep sitting down. See, this is what these people do. They sit here and they always want to sit here and talk about, let's sit down and talk. What is there to talk about? Y'all been wanting to talk for the past 30, 40 years, man. Ain't nothing been going on. It's still police shootings. And y'all can say what y'all want about the white man this and the white man that. The black man always been in position and been in our face to say do this and do that, and we just go along thinking they right. And what have that gotten us today? What wasn't tangible, anything that has grown to our effect? Is there any policies or bills for us? No. Is there any better school choice or school programs that is for your children, or safety for their lives, for them to come to be something in these schools? No. And here we go again. We just keep running the same old victim Olympic race. And we got these pundits like Al Sharpton, who's coming up here, just keep talking. The solution is we need to come and sit and talk. How many times have you talked, Sharpton? How many times have you changed these people's minds to say, this is not right, we need to do it this way? You've been in just since you were fat. He been in politics since he was fat. And this man here, the biggest thing on him is his head. But he can't use that because he always quit to pander to people, man. He say what he think we want to hear, but really at the end of the day, these people is having parties and drinking champagne with these other politicians, not giving a damn. But here we go again, just keep falling for the same okie-doke. I can understand why certain people don't vote and don't want to waste their time, but at the end of the day, it really matters mostly into your local election. That's where really changes start to go in at. Lower property taxes, tax cuts and stuff like that, better school systems, better teachers and all that. That's where it all started within your local community. But nevertheless, let's go and see what this bobblehead shark got to say.
I said earlier, blacks are concerned about crime. I think it's been exaggerated in some cases, but that does not mean we're soft on crime. It's how you deal with it and who is dealing with it and why it is so selective. But I think that there must be a mid-ground, because most crimes done by blacks are to other blacks. So it's not like we're unconcerned, but it doesn't mean that you take a different policy for us that you do others, and that then we have the concerns where we are.
This is one of these same old, cliche sayings, but hey, let me know what I went on Google, and I'm gonna share this screen with you guys. I went on Google and I looked up the crime rate for Washington, D.C. here. And instead of just, fact checking these people and just going off what they're saying because they think they sound right, and they don't think that you're gonna question them or you're gonna go and look back and check and for information yourself, because they feel like these are the ones who they prey upon. They prey upon the most uninformed. They don't like the ones that's informed. They bother the ones that's uninformed. So I got this. I put up this article here from Google, and I look straight and have it just to look up the Washington State. I want to go look up Washington D.C. crime rate. So Google says in Washington State there's a between 15.3 increase in crime total between 2019 and 2022. However, some data suggests that the trend may be reversing, with overall crime decreasing in Washington, D.C. Let me repeat that again. However, some data suggests this trend may be reversing, with overall crime decreasing in Washington, D.C. in 2024 and 2025. Now, who you think that's in the chair? Okay, let's read. While Washington, D.C. has seen a decline, it's important to note that the city homicide rate has historically been higher than many other capitals, although it has also seen a decrease recently. So there's been a 15% crime rate in Washington, D.C. alone. Over the past, well, it was back in, so it's 2025. So 2019, that's what, 6 years? So how are we gonna, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, and they're gonna come up here on TV and tell us, well, the crime rate, if they want to have seen on TV, that the crime rate is so high, they're not even, you're not even thinking about the ones that that they're not reporting. If they arrested a criminal over, I don't know, manslaughter or voluntary or something like that, they're not, you ain't thinking about those statistics, but they're quick to go in and switch up the numbers and switch data around. But now that we got the real information here, and which is just in our face every day, we just chose not to look at it. We just go off of these pundits and just go off and say, well, they're right because he said it. No, I don't trust now one of them. If they're a politician, I don't trust. But at the end of the day, even though I like Trump, I just feel like he has more values and more morals than any one of these politicians. And everything that he said that he was going to do, he done it. So how am I to sit here and just judge him off of that? I don't always agree to everything that he say or do, but it benefit, down the line if you're looking at the bigger picture here. But we've been told, versus then telling lies upon and doing the opposite of what they said they was going to do, that never changed anything, and it never will. And that's just why we're in the position that we in. So anyway, shout out to Trump and the National Guard who's coming in and cleaning up the crime violence, the homelessness all over the Washington D.C. streets to make it try to make the nation safe again. And from my understanding, he's going to go on different cities and states to continue to push this, this same thing. So shout out to him on that. And what y'all think? Y'all leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. Is Trump doing the right thing by sending in the National Guard to help the police? Not to mention they are understaffed on policing now. I do want to say that. So that is also known fact. I just haven't put that up here just now, but I'm pushing for time. Laptop about to go dead, and so y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the like button, hit the bell notification, and y'all tell me what you think. Is Trump really out to get just black people just because we're most ones that's active in our community? Not to mention they're not gonna say the single mother homes is really causing most of I ain't gonna say some of the crimes, but we all know statistically that we know what it is, and we're just running rampant. We just got hold some of these parents accountable. Why not are they saying that? I bet you they come up with some rules or some regulations or saying some kind of stipulations about towards the parents being responsible for their child, because half of them don't even know where their child at, where they at, because they always running the streets at night. They're going to see some party or something. To tell your child no sometime. They ain't always got to be out there every night. And what they're doing out there, especially on the school night. So hey, it's a lot of questions to raise and answer, man. I'm an open box thinker. I think outside, way, way beyond the box. That's why a lot of people kind of tend to disagree with me. I don't sit right with some of them, but it maybe not be your cup of tea, but it's all good at the end of the day because everybody ain't supposed to think alike. So y'all leave a comment down below and tell me what you think, man. So is Trump doing the right thing, or is this black people out here just doing the same victim dance like they always saying? Peace.